Ladies and gentlemen, Hell in a Cell has just concluded, and of course the Hell in a Cell matches themselves were great, but was the overall pay-per-view as good as you'd expect it to be? There were so many conflicting matches, so many conflicting winners of these matches, and we're going to go through some of my opinions on WWE Hell in a Cell for 2020. So without further ado, let's do it. What's up, everybody? It's the Aidan Sports Show, and welcome back to another video. Today, we've got a WWE Hell in a Cell 2020 pay-per-view reaction, where we're gonna go through all of the WWE pay-per-view matches that were taking place at Hell in a Cell, and give my honest and true reactions and grades to all of these matches. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below which match was the match of the night, because there are definitely three that you could talk about that could be the match of the night depending on how you like your WWE. But at the end of the day, there were some fantastic matches on this show, but there were also some very, very lackluster and even go to the far as say poor matches on tonight's show. It definitely divides opinion, and we're going to get started. Now, usually I don't watch the pre-show, but to this time, I watched the pre-show. I really enjoyed the hype videos that they always do. They always do a fantastic job with that. And obviously the only, I guess, kickoff match that was there was R-Truth versus Drew Gulak for the 24/7 championship. This match lasted about 7-ish minutes or something like that. Very lackluster, not very entertaining. R-Truth was the winner, and I'm giving the match grading a C. It's basic for the kickoff show. I mean, R-Truth and Drew Gulak, I really feel like Drew Gulak deserves better than losing to R-Truth, especially when not too long ago he was in a team-oriented situation with Daniel Bryan and had a fantastic match with Daniel Bryan. But yeah, you deal with the cards that you're dealt, and Drew Gulak is trying to make the best out of a pretty bad situation, in my opinion. The 24/7 championship has lost its mojo for a long time. I don't feel like we're going to see anything interesting in terms of the 24/7 championship until probably WrestleMania, where all the big stars come in. So until that day, I don't really think there's much they could do with that 24/7 championship to change my mind. I don't like it. I like R-Truth. I just don't like the championship and what it represents. But anyway, that's it. That was the kickoff, and we're going to go into the very, very, very first match on the main card of Hell in a Cell 2020, and it started off with an absolute banger. Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso for the Universal Championship in the very first ever Hell in a Cell I Quit match. It's been a long time since we've seen an I Quit match on the WWE television, and it was a good damn match. It was a bloody good match. Now, if you're asking me what was the best Hell in a Cell match on today's show, I wouldn't say it was this one, but this one, storytelling-wise, was probably the best I've seen in quite some time to do with Hell in a Cell. This represents what Hell in a Cell is all about: personal vindication, personal rivalries extending. And the amount of story that was in this match alone was absolutely phenomenal. I could not take my eyes off of my phone while I was watching this. I couldn't bear to miss a moment of Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. Yes, this match wasn't the most gruesome. They barely used the cage at all. But the fact is, it was a tremendous storytelling of a match, and some people like that more than the matches itself. The storytelling of a feud really carries over to how good a match can be, and this match might not be the best Hell in a Cell match on the card, but the best storytelling, 100%, that is a fact. And again, we saw Roman Reigns, man. We talked about Roman Reigns not too long ago with John Cena, how he can't act, he can't run a promo, he doesn't have any emotion. All of that was put to bed in this match. Every single person that ever said Roman Reigns can't act, can't cut a promo, has all been shut up today, because that match, especially the emotion. I mean, you saw the man cry. Not many people can cry on cue. Not many people can do it. Not many people could do it. Even in the WWE, when supposedly they're all actors, not many people can do that. But Roman Reigns did that. He showed his emotion. He showed his true colors. And in the end, it was a phenomenal match. And yes, It was one-sided for a lot of it. Jey Uso got his ass whipped for so much of that match. But again, that's part of the story. Jey Uso is supposed to get his ass whipped. I'm not bothered if he gets buried. Because the fact is, it's all about showing how his spirit is. Jey Uso did not quit until his brother was attacked. He saved his brother. I love the mentality of Jey Uso. I love the not breaking of his heart in this match, even though he was clearly outmatched by Roman Reigns. And I even like the ceremonial putting on of the I don't know what to call it, but you guys know if you saw the show, basically honoring him as the tribal chief, the man of the family. I enjoyed it. It was fantastic storytelling. If I had to give this match, obviously the winner was Roman Reigns. If I have to give this match a grading, I'm probably going to give it an A-. I thought it was absolutely outstanding, and I want to see more out of this feud. Eventually down the line, when Jimmy Uso will be healthy, I want to see both of them just kick the living hell out of Roman Reigns. That's what I want to see. And I don't know if we're going to be able to see that. I don't know if this feud just goes away because he's been basically pronounced the tribal chief now. Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso said I quit, so maybe the feud's over, but I don't want it to be over. I know there's more to this, and maybe this all leads up to a Rock and Roman Reigns match at WrestleMania. Maybe it doesn't, but I want to see more. I want to continue this story, and I think there is more to tell about this story. He went so far to attack an injured Jimmy Uso to win a match. There's a story there for both Uso brothers now, and I fully enjoyed this match. I'm giving it an A-. I thought it was absolutely superb. And now let's kick it off to the second match of the night. It was Elias and Jeff Hardy. In a regular singles match. Obviously, if you guys don't know this feud, because I feel like a lot of people would have forgot about this feud, this was all the way back on SmackDown. They carried it over to Raw. Basically, someone hit Elias with a car. Apparently, it's supposedly supposed to be Sheamus, but Elias thinks it's Jeff Hardy. Bada bing, bada boom. They continue the rivalry. Elias is a fantastic singer, by the way. You need to check out his Raw song. That was superb. Absolutely superb. This match, however, was not superb at all. And it's one of the worst matches on the show. It was very, very short. Nothing really much going on. I don't really like these two in the ring together. I know that's being harsh, but I just don't think they gel as much as they probably should have with a rivalry that's so deep. And if someone hit me in the car, I think that deserves a Hell in a Cell match. Let's be real. There's not much more personal you can get than hitting someone with a car. But again, they just settle it in a normal match. There should have been a stipulation in this match. Maybe they're going to continue this to TLC and they're going to have a TLC match. I don't really know. But this match was just not as good as I thought it could be. And that's a big problem because Jeff Hardy's a fantastic wrestler. I think Elias is still developing his wrestling skills. I don't think he's the finished article yet. But I expected more out of this match, and I got pretty much an average television match with a disqualification ending. So the winner of the match was Elias by disqualification. He tried to attack Jeff Hardy with a chair, with a guitar, and Jeff Hardy took the guitar and basically hit Elias. Elias wins the match. Jeff Hardy walks away knowing that he lost the match, and I'm going to give it a C+, and it's a generous C+. I really thought this match was very lackluster, and I think WWE, you're going to see a common theme here outside of the Hell in a Cell matches about a lot of the things that did happen, because they really, they didn't really bother about any of the other matches except for the Hell in a Cell matches, and you'll see that with my gradings. They're not great. A lot of them for other matches outside of Hell in a Cell. I thought this match was poor. It was okay, but I expected so much better. They didn't have enough time to do anything, and the match cut off really short. And you expect more out of a match between Jeff Hardy and Elias on the main card of a show, especially a show like Hell in a Cell. Next up, let's go to The Miz versus Otis for the Money in the Bank contract. And there is a lot of information to entail in this match, and this match pissed me off more than you could possibly believe when I watched it. And I'm going to give you my reasons why. Of course, I'll give you my reasons why. But first off, let's talk about the match itself. The match itself was probably better than Jeff Hardy and Elias. I hate the concept that the Money in the Bank contract was on the line. And the ending of the match was very interesting in terms of Tucker turning on Otis, his former best friend, and The Miz ends up taking the Money in the Bank contract with a 1, 2, 3 counts. He's the new Money in the Bank holder. Now, I'm going to give this match... okay, so you know The Miz won. I'm going to give this match a D. and it has nothing to do with the match itself. It's more about what this match represents. I want to talk about something that has been bothering me for a long time, but they've really taken it over the edge here. Otis won the Money in the Bank briefcase. The Money in the Bank briefcase is supposed to be something that's taken seriously, and it's something that's supposed to be held with the main holder until he cashes in. Under no circumstance, in my opinion, should the Money in the Bank contract ever be put on the line against anybody else. I hate that idea. I hated it when Edge did it with Mr. Kennedy. I hated it when people were talking about it with Damien Sandow when he was going to win it. He was going to put it up on the line. I hated it when Otis was forced to do it. I hate that concept. That Money in the Bank ladder match has basically become irrelevant because they decided to just give it away to someone else anyway. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. It was already made a joke by Otis, I'm not going to lie, the Money in the Bank briefcase with the lunchbox and stuff, but I would much rather he cash it in and lose to Roman Reigns or Drew McIntyre than to lose it to The Miz because of a betrayal. And now that The Miz has the Money in the Bank contract, I don't want to see Otis have it again because I hate the concept of putting the Money in the Bank contract up on the line in a regular match after people work so hard to make that Money in the Bank match special, and it ends up just being all for nothing. I hate that idea, and that's why this match gets a D. Not because of the match itself, but the concept behind it. Otis should have never had his Money in the Bank briefcase up for grabs, and I'm fine with Tucker turning on Otis, but the Money in the Bank briefcase did not need to be involved in that. It really did not. There was no reason for it. Yes, it makes it more meaningful. There's still no reason for it. I don't like it. I will never like it. If The Miz ends up versing Otis for the Money in the Bank contract again, I'm not going to like it if The Miz loses. It's as simple as that. Has nothing to do with The Miz. I just don't like what the creative team did in that area. I'm sorry. I'm not going to come out here and praise every match when I didn't like the outcome of this match. It's as simple as that. Maybe they can prove me wrong one day. Maybe not. I'm not bothered anymore because they've already made a joke out of that Money in the Bank contract. So I'm just waiting for someone to cash in and lose because I think that's where it's going to end up going. Next up, we've got Sasha Banks versus Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And in my opinion, if you're asking me about all the Hell in a Cell matches, which were basically the best matches of the night, Sasha Banks versus Bayley was the best match on the card. Don't tell me women can't wrestle, ladies and gentlemen, because these women tore the house down. Was absolutely phenomenal. So many high spots, so many endangering spots. At one point I thought Sasha Banks probably has a concussion, and I still think she might have a concussion after that sunset flip into a chair. Oh my, that looked vicious. And there were so many fantastic moments in this match. It is so difficult to count them. You could probably count them beyond your two hands. There were so many phenomenal spots in that match, and I 100% agree with the outcome of Sasha Banks winning with a bank statement onto the chair that Bayley loved so much. The chair that Bayley brought into the match. It's all fitting enough that chair cost Bayley the SmackDown Women's Championship. Now, this is a questionable victory in my opinion. This is questionable because I think a lot of people didn't expect Sasha Banks to win this match. But I don't have a problem with Sasha Banks winning this match. For some people, they'll say it was too early. For some people, they'll say it should have never happened until WrestleMania. I think they're going to wrestle pretty much every pay-per-view up until WrestleMania. I think they're going to wrestle at Royal Rumble, probably a Survivor Series. They're going to have maybe their own Survivor Series tag team match. Who knows? They're probably going to wrestle at Elimination Chamber. They're both going to be in Elimination Chamber matches, and I think they're going to wrestle at WrestleMania. They're going to probably work every single pay-per-view up until that moment. I'm not bothered if Bayley wins the next pay-per-view because these two have such a fantastic connection in the ring that it's a joy to watch. I will watch Sasha Banks lose the title next month if it does happen. I'll watch Sasha Banks win it tonight. And I fully agree with these two being in a feud that leads up to WrestleMania. They could work every single SmackDown for all I care. Because at the moment, that connection is something that's special that not many WWE superstars can obtain. And it feels good to see that a lot of these superstars in this era of WWE seems to have those kinds of rivalries. At the moment, Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, Sasha Banks, and Bayley. These are personal rivalries. This is what I want out of my programming. I want to see personal rivalries being settled in the ring. and more than once. So I love this match. I thought this match was the best match of the night, and I'm very, very happy with the Sasha Banks winning the SmackDown Women's Championship, the championship that eluded her. And before I go into my match rating, there are a few things on commentary on this match that I disagreed with. First off, and probably the only thing I'm going to mention really, like that's wrong, Michael Cole said in this match, and I do listen to the commentary, I know a lot of people don't, Michael Cole said in this match that their 60 Iron Man or Iron Woman match was just for competition. Stop trying to rewrite history. That match was just as personal as this match right now. Just because the ending of that match ended up with flowers and confetti and Bayley obviously winning, that does not mean that match was not personal. That was one of the most personal matches you could ever watch in the WWE. I had a very big problem when Michael Cole said that. And I know it's commentary and I'm not supposed to take it as seriously as I should have, but that is rewriting history, and that should not be allowed, man. Do not rewrite history. That match was personal. Every Sasha Banks and Bayley match will end up being personal now. So, big issue there. And, yeah. And I do have to say, I'm very proud of how far Bayley's come. Because Corey Graves said on commentary, Bayley was the sidekick and now she's the equal. And that's exactly how I see it as well. I see Bayley has stepped up to become an equal to Sasha Banks and not just the partner or not just the side, you know, not just the sidekick. And I 100% agree with that as well. So commentary there was a bit iffy. Got some good things right and some terrible things wrong. So anyway, great match and I really enjoyed it. We're going to move on to the next match for the United States Championship. It was Bobby Lashley versus one of the Retribution members. I think his name is Slapjack. I don't know. Look, I'm sorry. I don't know the names. Like, I know the names, but I don't know who is attached to what. Look, it is what it is. You could call me a fake fan if you want to call me a fake fan. Just leave it at that. This match was pretty average. Again, very, very short. I don't think it was better than Jeff Hardy and Elias. I don't think there was much to this match at all. The only real high spot was obviously the finish with the hurt lock and the cannon bomb from Slapjack. The winner was Bobby Lashley, tapped him out, and this was just a match to fill out time, pretty much. This basically what it was. This match, Bobby Lashley was the winner. He retained the United States Championship. I'm giving it a C. I'm going to leave it at that. There was just nothing in this match that made me excited. From start to finish, it was just a short match, and it was just not worth the watch. So, I hate to be harsh, but this match didn't make me any more excited about Retribution and the Hurt Business, which is what this show should have been about, in my opinion. I would have loved to see a Hurt Business versus Retribution Hell in a Cell match. Just putting it out there. I would have loved to see that. But again, they seem to be taking their time with this. Hopefully it can lead to something special, but that was not a good reflection on both rivalries, to be honest. Last but not least, the final match of the night. Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, the WWE Championship on the line, and this match started off very quickly as Randy Orton pretended to be a crew guy and attacked Drew McIntyre, but Drew McIntyre read him very, very well. They had a good fight out of the ring, and then in the ring, Randy Orton took control of this match for the majority of the time, hurt his jaw, basically kicked his ass for a good couple of minutes. Drew McIntyre got his fair share in there, but I had a feeling Randy Orton was going to win this match as soon as Drew McIntyre fell through that table. And that's obvious, is it not? I mean, if you expected Drew McIntyre to go through basically having his jaw destroyed the entire match, thrown off the top of the cell, and he still ended up winning, I would have been surprised. Let's just leave it at that. But anyway, let's continue, man. I knew that something at the top of the cell would have happened, and I would have loved to see an RKO through the table. Again, just me. My opinion, I would have loved to see that. That's not how it went. Drew McIntyre fell through the table. Randy Orton took control from there. There was a Claymore kick involved as well, but again, Randy Orton, for the majority of the match, had it under control. Used the cell very, very well, both competitors. Good talking in the match, trash talk. They made it very personal. But the winner with an RKO was Randy Orton. He's the new WWE Champion, tied with Triple H for the second longest WWE Championship title holders. Obviously, first is Ric Flair and John Cena tied. And you gotta say it. I am so happy that Randy Orton got a WWE Championship again. I thought this was the perfect time within these spaces of this rivalry to give him the title. He's revived what was a very good career already, amazing Hall of Fame career that was going a little bit stale, and he's picked it up again with Drew McIntyre, and this was the perfect time to give him a title reign. I have no shame in Drew McIntyre losing. I'm not bothered that he's not going to be the champion at WrestleMania. He might be the champion at WrestleMania. I'm not bothered that he lost it. So at the end of the day, WWE didn't take the safe options here, both with Bayley and both with Sasha Banks and with Randy Orton. They did not take the safe option. They went for the option that made the most sense, in my opinion. And Randy Orton made the most sense. I mean, how often are you going to beat Randy Orton in a pay-per-view before you're just jobbing him out, pretty much? This was a fantastic match with a fantastic result. This was not my match of the night, but it's going to equal the same rating of the match of the night. I'm giving it an A because I thought it was a good match for what it was. It wasn't as fast-paced as Sasha Banks and Bayley. It definitely wasn't as gruesome, despite the table falling through the table. And I do think that the rightful winner was crowned, and Randy Orton, the Viper. I know a lot of people are going to be happy that Drew McIntyre is not the champion at the moment because he's held it for a long time. Randy Orton's the new WWE champion, and we're going to wait and see what will entail for Randy Orton coming into the next pay-per-view. And of course, you always have to talk about, will there be another match between Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton? Will Keith Lee, Braun Strowman? There's a good chunk of talent on Raw that could face Randy Orton. Let's see what rivalry will come up next, or let's see if Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton will continue into another pay-per-view. Maybe not, maybe so, but I thought this was a good way to give the title to Randy Orton in one of his most favored matches, and the matches where he kind of made a name for himself in the Hell in a Cell. It's a perfect way to end it. Thank you, guys. The overall Hell in a Cell match, pay-per-view, I mean, if you look at it, 3 fantastic Hell in a Cell matches, and that's what the pay-per-view is. It's Hell in a Cell. That's what it's called. I thought the matches that were outside of the Hell in a Cell matches really brought this show down. I'm sorry, the only thing I can give it is a B, because despite the fantastic Hell in a Cell matches, outside of those matches, there was just not enough for me to say this was a better pay-per-view than the Clash of Champions, better pay-per-view than Extreme Rules, better pay-per-view than Payback, all those pay-per-views before it. It's up there with them, but I can't say with a straight conviction that all of those pay-per-views are not in comparison to this one. I can't tell you that with a straight face. And to be honest, if I had to make a choice, I would not make Hell in a Cell a main pay-per-view anymore, because I think Hell in a Cell should not be exemplified for one night. I think Hell in a Cell should be where the personal rivalries go to end their feuds. That could be a WrestleMania, that could be a SummerSlam, and for the most part, they've done that. But at the end of the day, Hell in a Cell, in my opinion, same with TLC, it should not be subjected to one night, one pay-per-view. And maybe that can change over the course of time. I don't see that changing anytime soon. My 2 takes on it. Hell in a Cell 2020 was a B overall for me. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. We are trying to get to 250 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you guys have stuck around for the entire time, you clearly must have had something that you enjoyed about this video. So please leave a subscribe and a like, and let me know what was the match of the night for you. More WWE content will come on the way. I do mainly pay-per-view reactions if you are new. So the next pay-per-view for WWE, actually, I'm not sure what it is. I'll leave it in the description below what the next WWE pay-per-view will be. And that will be where my reaction lies. So without further ado, guys, have a wonderful and safe day. Hopefully you enjoyed Hell in a Cell. I enjoyed the Hell in a Cell matches, and I thought it was an okay pay-per-view. That's all I can say. Have a wonderful day. Take care. And peace.